I learned to drive a stick shift or manual transmission on a 1985 Chevrolet S-10. See, my dad bought this truck to replace this aging Buick we had. That was the car that my brothers and I shared when we were learning to drive and in high school. The S-10 would also pull double duty as a farm truck. It already lived a life. It was already pretty beat up, working for a utility company or a contractor of some kind. You could tell because the paint was painted all utility white, and then the sign on the doors had been painted over, and you could sort of see the outline of where the sign used to be. That truck was bare bones stock. There was nothing added to it. It had a 4-speed manual transmission, a 2.8-liter V6, which put out a whopping 110 horsepower. It only had two-wheel drive, so Dad put tractor weights in the back so that it would have a little more traction in the rain and snow. There was no options. There was no air conditioning, no cruise control, no extended cab, no club cab. Um, Nothing. It was a bench seat, vinyl bench seat, and the infotainment center was consisted of an AM FM radio. The windows were powered by hand cranks, and without air conditioning or power steering, if you had to parallel park it, um, and it was hot outside, it was trying to like lift weights in a sauna. It would just sap your strength as you overheated trying to wrestle that thing into a parking space. My dad tried with all of his patience that he could muster to teach the three of us, and we were all teenagers, of course, the finer points of driving a manual transmissions. And sometimes that patience ran out, but somehow the four of us would wedge ourselves behind, on the one bench seat behind the dashboard of that truck. My older brother Nate was really good at it. He took to it like a duck to water. Uh, he was just very coordinated and understand it. I, on the other hand, I'm a big clumsy oaf, and I constantly kill the engine. Um, I didn't give it enough gas, and so it would shake, sputter, stall, and die. I killed it while trying to take off on a hill. I killed it while parking. I killed it on a railroad track. It was a slaughter, simply murder. And the evidence of my crimes was the stench, that lingering stench of the burning clutch. And just when I thought I would never, ever get it, my brother Nate told me, "Yeah, you'll figure it out. Someday you'll be cruising down the road, steering with two fingers of your left hand while shifting gears, tuning the radio, drinking a Mountain Dew, and dipping Copenhagen with your right hand." Besides the fact that I don't like Mountain Dew and Copenhagen, Copenhagen makes me throw up. He was right. Eventually, I got the hang of it, and I really liked driving manual transmission cars. I've had a few since then. It seems hard to believe, but General Motors once manufactured vehicles in the United States of America. It built those S-10 trucks at plants and factories in Moraine, Ohio, Shreveport, Louisiana, and Pontiac, Michigan. Workers in these towns who belonged to labor unions proudly built trucks while providing a prosperous middle class life for their families. That Chevy was small by today's standards. It only weighed about 3,000 pounds. It was, even though it was a long bed, it was about 16 feet long. By comparison, a new Ford F-150 is over 3 feet longer than that, almost 19 feet, and can weigh almost twice as much. I know I'm comparing apples to oranges by comparing a compact S10 truck to a full size F-150, but hey, it's my video. I can do whatever I want. But not only has the size of trucks exploded over the years, but so has the cost. The price tag of a modern truck is mind-boggling. Of course, they come with more gadgets than an Apple store and all the comforts at home. It's really like cruising down the interstate in your own living room with all the horsepower of a Ferrari. A fully loaded Ford F-150 Raptor R will set you back over $100,000. I think Dad paid something like $3,000 for that old used S-10. It seems as if the purpose of trucks have changed too. Many trucks I see on the road today aren't really used for like farms or work or anything like that. They're people haulers, grocery getters, status symbols, and there's nothing wrong with that. But they probably have never had more than a bag of salt or a rake in their beds. That S10 truck we had, the bed was scratched, dinged, warped, bent, rusted. It carried rocks, old tools, sticks, all kinds of other junk. That little truck did help my social life, though. Since I was a big guy with access to a pickup truck, I was popular, but only on days when somebody needed help moving a refrigerator or a couch. For all those dudes racing around in their lifted trucks with giant tires, I wish you knew the joys of driving a 1980s truck, whether it's a Ranger or an S10 or S15 or a Toyota. Yeah, I miss that truck. Hey, if you got a favorite old vehicle that you wish you still had, leave it in the comments. I'll see you next time on The Desperate Historian.